You are listening to Reverend Insanity by Gu Jinren. Please enjoy the show. Chapter 209. Encounter with Demonic Path Gu Master. The lake was completely still, perfectly reflecting the blue sky above. Having just barely escaped from the frenzied needle bees, Fang Yuan and Ning must now face another threat. It was evident someone had made a campfire here not too long ago. Earthly hearing ear grass. As Fang Yuan's wills collided, roots started to grow from his implanted ear and reached deep into the ground, enhancing his hearing. After listening intently for quite a long time, he finally loosened his expression. There was no one in their vicinity, or at least for now. He then focused on the campfire, running his fingers through the burnt ash, investigating every single clue.
This fire was made about a half-month ago, just one person, probably not nearby at this moment.
Only one person? Most clans would never send out a team with less than 5 people. This one must be a demonic path Gu master then.
Ning was unhappy with the discovery. Unlike clan-based tribal Gu masters on the righteous path, demonic path Gu masters usually were belligerent and could not be reasoned with, so encounter with one in the wilderness would mostly warrant a fierce battle. This was not to say that people on the righteous path were naturally kind while people on the demonic path were naturally evil. However, when in the middle of nowhere, lacking social constraint, lone travelers tended to show their true natures and act without reservations. On the other hand, people on the righteous path traveled in groups, so they were more thoughtful of how their actions could be perceived by others, and therefore, tended to behave in ways that were more in line with social expectations. Often traveling alone by themselves, demonic path Gu masters must always be vigilant and quick at sensing danger. Without anyone to rely on, they would always put their own safety first, so unless Fang Yuan and Ning could scare the demonic path Gu master away by displaying absolute superiority, an intense battle was guaranteed. Given that most Gu masters capable of traveling in the wilderness by themselves were rank 4, and possibly with unique tricks up their sleeves, their worries were justified. It was dangerous enough for a rank 3 novice and a rank 1 to travel in the wild without a complete set of Gu bugs, let alone having to fight against a mysterious rank 4.
Lucky thing we stumbled upon this campfire, so going forward we're not running blind. But first, let's rest and recuperate, so we can at least take care of our wounds properly.
Reminded of the pain on her back, Ning nodded. Fang Yuan then called out the Tusita flower to give her some bandages and medicines. While the dorsal armor Gu's limited coverage area significantly impacted its combat application, it had managed to keep him mostly untouched as the most severe attacks were attracted to Ning. He quickly tended to his wounds, then rushed over to help her. She had already taken her shirt off, revealing her back that was covered with deep bleeding wounds. Rank 3 Frenzied Needle Bee Gu, with their penetrative abilities and high number, were the perfect weapon against Heaven Canopy Gu. The fact that Ning was still alive was entirely thanks to her body having been enhanced by Ice Muscle Gu, which added another layer of defense.
Ow, ow, ow.
Clenching her teeth from the searing pain as the medicine powder cleaned her wounds, Ning quickly bandaged herself up.
We are getting low on medicines and bandages. Frugal as we have been, trying to reuse as much as possible, it is not going to cut it. We had better find a healing Gu bug soon.
Fang Yuan's expression was serious. As medications were consumables made from rare herbs and were hard to brew, a healing Gu bug would not only save them time but also shift their consumption to primeval essence, which was a form of renewable energy. Effective as they were, Gu bugs were difficult to catch. This past half-month alone, they had encountered several healing Gu. However, insufficiencies with either their own strength or capturing conditions eventually forced them to give up.
We need to get ourselves a healing Gu. But before that, I have this problem.
What kind of problem?
Fang Yuan raised his brows quizzically. Ning turned over, showing her bare torso, and pointed at her chest.
It's these two annoying meat bags, bouncing all over the place when I was running. I was thinking about cutting them straight off, but worried that the openings would be too large to handle in the wilderness without healing goo bug.
Throughout most of his life, the Bai clan genius solely focused on cultivation, so Bai Ningbing hardly knew anything when it came to girls, so now, when turned into a woman, she did not think of this body as her own. Knowing Fang Yuan had the Yang Gu only strengthened her belief that she would eventually be turned back into a man. Therefore, Bai Ningbing had never once considered herself female. Without displaying any emotion, Fang Yuan took a glance and said,
"Cutting them off is too much of a hassle, but you can bind them.
What do you mean bind them?
Treat them like you would any regular wounds, and loop the bandage cloth around your torso to fix them in place."
I guess that would have to do for now.
Bai Ningbing sighed reluctantly. It was getting dark, and the lakeside would soon be packed with thirsty animals, so they did not linger. Fang Yuan found a natural cave not too far away. It was a bit cramped, but safe. Once they had cleared out the birds inside, this place would be their home for quite some time. A few days later, Bai Ningbing's wounds had recovered mostly, so the two of them once again headed to Baigu Mountain. Worrying about the mysterious demonic path Gu Master, Fang Yuan was extra cautious, constantly stopping and listening with his earthly hearing eargrass. The very next day, his caution had yielded rewards. They found another campfire remnant hidden under a pile of leaves, undoubtedly made by the demonic path Gu Master. On the third day, by a stream, they found what was left of a fierce battle. A massive green python lay dead next to the water, its corpse already picked clean by animals. There were fallen trees and green scales everywhere. Not to mention, the stream itself appeared to have been shifted from its original path. Looking around carefully, Fang Yuan relaxed his tone.
Our demonic path Gu Master had fought a hard battle against the python here. Given they had such difficulties facing 100 Beast King, it seems like our demonic path Gu Master is only rank 3.
Despite saying so, Fang Yuan was still unwilling to face this mysterious person. He would very much prefer dealing with unintelligent beasts or Gu bugs. Unlike the frenzied needle bees, an intelligent Gu Master could make use of every last bit of their abilities, thus making them a much bigger threat. Unfortunately, things did not go according to his plan, as they found another set of tracks left behind by the demonic path Gu Master that very afternoon.
Whoever it is must have been poisoned. There's carved flesh on the ground, must be from attempting to remove the venom.
Back on Earth, there was no such thing as a venomous python, but in this world, they were extremely common. Bai Ningbing's eyes sparkled. Without a doubt, this was good news. The worse off the demonic path Gu Master was, the better it was for them. For the next few days, they kept finding more tracks based on his 500 years experience. Fang Yuan deduced that they were getting close.
Be extra careful, as the python's venom can cause delirium. This Gu Master is severely injured, their body extremely affected from the venom, but that would only make them even more dangerous.
Fang Yuan warned Bai Ningbing, still relying on her to fight for him. They started to move with more caution, taking longer to travel the same distance every day, as secrecy remained their biggest advantage. Finally, one afternoon, Fang Yuan was listening to the ground when suddenly he opened his eyes, and the roots coming out of his ear quickly retracted back.
Found the demonic path Gu Master. They're right inside that cave over there, drawing their last breath.
Just moments ago, he had heard the weak sounds of human breathing coming out from inside that cave.
Let's strike while the enemy is weak.
Bai Ningbing was battle-ready, her eyes beaming with ruthlessness, but Fang Yuan stopped her.
Patient. There's no need to engage in a fight. By the looks of it, we only have to wait a few days for the venom to do its work.
I see.
The killing chi roaring inside her chest calmed down a bit when suddenly,
You two outside, don't bother hiding anymore. I've discovered you.
A weak voice came from inside the cave. It was clearly female. Fang Yuan's expression shifted and immediately took a step back.
Don't you want my primeval stones? And my goo bugs too?
Hearing the woman's voice speaking again, Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing sped up. The injured goo masters sounded weak, but there was a sense of assurance to her tone. Without a doubt, there must be traps set up inside the cave for her to maintain such calmness. Not to mention, neither of them were dumb enough to engage in a fight with a dying person.
Leaving already? There's no such convenient way out. Both of you could stay here for good.
A dark figure shot out from the cave.
It's all on you now.
Fang Yuan's body flickered and vanished, having activated the stealth scales goo. Bai Ningbing clicked her tongue in frustration, but finally activated the heaven canopy goo and called out the coarse blade golden centipede, ready for battle. Her enemy was a big-footed middle-aged woman walking without shoes. There was black fur growing on the top of her feet. Her face and arms turned disturbingly green from python venom. They exchanged blows for 3 rounds before the poisoned woman was forced to take a step back. She continued to lose more ground. When suddenly, the woman took a hard step and dashed straight back into the cave. Feeling relentless, Bai Ningbing chased after her.
Don't chase after a desperate enemy!
Fang Yuan hastily warned, but it was too late. The ground beneath Bai Ningbing's feet exploded, sending her flying away. Chapter 210. Plotting. Dust rose as rocks and debris were sent flying. Bai Ningbing was smacked onto the ground, but, like a resilient carp, she stood up right back. Thanks to the heaven canopy goo protection, she was uninjured, but the white light armor's shine was darkened by a third.
What in the world?
Cursing out loud, Bai Ningbing looked back and saw the explosion site had been turned into a 3-meter-wide pit. From inside the cave, the woman goo master smugly laughed.
Even if I don't kill you this time, would you even dare to come at me again, little girl?
Bai Ningbing was furious, but after all, she was not an impulsive person. A few more hits like before and the heaven canopy goo would have been destroyed.
What was that? Seems like the explosion originated from the ground, so maybe if I don't touch the ground, I could have avoided it altogether?
Bai Ningbing thought. She might have been young and naive, but her battle instincts were top-notch.
Too bad. Without a flying goo, I am bound to touch the ground eventually. Wait! No! I don't have to force my way in. She was clearly trying to goad me. Ha ha! You think you're safe inside this cave? All I have to do is stand guard out here. Eventually, you will have to come out.
Ha ha ha, then wait all you want. I have plenty of food here. The outside is exposed to rains and storms. Let's see who will outlast whom,
said the demonic path goo master woman. The white-haired demonling Bai Ningbing smirked at that retort. The woman goo master had already been poisoned with the green python's venom, so the longer it took, the weaker she would get. This situation could only go better for Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing. However, to her surprise, Fang Yuan suddenly cupped his hands and saluted the woman goo master.
Encountering you here out in the wilderness was entirely coincidental. We were just passing by. Highs, making things difficult for you is the same as making it hard for ourselves. Hopefully we never meet again. Bye.
Upon saying so, he turned around and left.
Why are you trying to leave? She is only a rank 3. The moment we figured out that explosive trick of hers, our victory would be guaranteed.
Easy for you to say. After all, you are rank 3, but I am only rank 1. Let's hurry back on our journey and stop messing around. It is better to be safe than sorry.
Stunned at first, Bai Ningbing quickly understood that Fang Yuan was acting. Though she did not know exactly what he was planning, given what she knew of him, she decided to play along, pretending to be angry.
You coward! Screw it! I'll spare you your life this time, woman!
She gave the demonic path Gu Master a deep look, not at all concealing her killing chi. She then followed Fang Yuan into the woods, unseen by the woman Gu Master. Once they were far enough away, Bai Ningbing was the first one to break the silence.
That explosion technique of hers is not a problem. When we fought earlier, she did not use it. Only when she had backed into the cave and I stepped on that spot did it explode. She must have buried Goo Bug there ahead of time, but it appears that it cannot be moved. We totally can lure in wild beasts to attack the cave, testing out her traps.
These words alone had fully displayed Bai Ningbing's talent for battle. However, Fang Yuan just laughed instead, asking,
Then what?
Bai Ningbing was stunned. Fang Yuan squinted. There were starlights beaming from his eyes.
Let's say we follow your idea, luring in a group of beasts to test out her traps. Then what? If we pushed her into a corner, knowing she had no chance to survive, she would undoubtedly fight with all her might to the last breath. Might even take one of us with her. We can win, but we'll suffer great losses. Not to mention, this tactic will give her spare time to destroy all of her goo bugs, leaving us with nothing. It only takes but a single thought for Goo Master to destroy their own goo. So what's the benefit in killing her without taking all of her goo bugs?
Bai Ningbing frowned. Originally, they were guarded about this demonic path Gu Master because they were afraid of her ambush. However, now that they had found out about her real situation, their intention had shifted completely to kill this weakened demonic path Gu Master, take her goo bugs, and strengthen themselves. Although there were many different types of goo bugs in the wild, those with suitable rank and dietary needs were extremely rare. Goo bugs used by Goo Masters were all carefully selected, taking many different aspects into consideration, so they were much better than those captured in the wild, albeit very few people could take goo bugs from their fallen enemies. After all, most people would not have been willing to leave behind their goo bugs to their enemies. It might not be difficult to kill this demonic path Goo Master, but to take all of her goo bugs would not be easy.
Don't you have a plunder goo?
Just a single plunder goo can have very little effect. It is fine to use against wild beasts, but to use it against Goo Master would require too many harsh conditions.
Fang Yuan shook his head. Suddenly thought of something, Bai Ningbing asked.
What if our trying to be smart ended up in letting her escape? What should we do then?
For a while, she is not going to escape.
Righteous Path Goo Masters, regardless of clan-based or sect-based, would have received some level of education, thus increasing the quality of their stock. In contrast, Demonic Path Goo Masters were more varied. Some were traitors to the righteous path, some were escaped criminals. And these people, at least, were the ones who had received proper training and, therefore, had the foundations to become Goo Masters. Others were mostly farmers and hunters who stumbled upon an inheritance and opened their apertures by happenstance. These people, on the other hand, were mostly lacking in all forms of proper training.
This demonic path Goo Master woman had a rough accent, bad combat techniques, and poor survival skills. Every time she set up camp, she left behind some obvious traces for us to find. Didn't even know better to clean up after important clues about her own injuries. I see that she is broad and sturdy, strong arms and legs, must have been a farmer who stumbled upon a small inheritance. The explosion from earlier must have been from a rank 2 grass goo called the Thundering Potato. Once buried into the ground, it will explode whenever somebody steps on it. She's just a farmer. How much knowledge about goo could she possibly have? Look at her now, poisoned with no antidote. Her injuries kept on getting worse. She's scared and in desperate need of feeling safe. That is why she had buried a lot of thundering potatoes outside the cave. Forcing our way in will only push her to do extreme actions, but if we were to leave on our own, that will give her a chance to take a breather and slow down her emotions. Undoubtedly she will be paranoid, not knowing for sure if we have actually left. The world outside is filled with danger and uncertainty. If she were to get out, she might run into us again in the wilderness. These thundering potatoes here give her a great sense of safety, so for a while, she is not going to leave.
Bai Ning Bing, without any expression, listened intently. As much as she hated it, she had to admit that Fang Yuan's analysis was extremely accurate, with a shrewdness that she couldn't even hope to match.
Your analysis is good, but she is still poisoned with the green python's venom, so staying in one place is not the solution. She will still have to leave that cave eventually.
Yes, we will have to keep watch on her.
His earthly hearing eargrass, though only rank 2, had as much range of detection as quite a lot of rank 3 goo bugs. Bai Ning Bing shook her head.
This plan of yours has problems too. Activating the earthly hearing eargrass requires continuous primeval essence expenditure. Even if you were to use the heavenly primeval treasured lotus to recharge quickly, a person's vigor is limited. You still have to eat and sleep, so you can't be checking up on her all the time, right?
When did you become so stupid? She's one person, we have 2.
As goo bugs could be lent, the 2 of them could take turns using the earthly hearing eargrass to keep watch on the demonic path goo master woman. Bai Ning Bing was stunned. There was a bit of shame flashing through her eyes.
Darn it! Such a simple question, how could I have not thought of it?
Clenching her teeth, she was angry at herself for making such a low-level mistake. Fang Yuan laughed silently. All things considered, it was because of Bai Ning Bing's own desire to not let Fang Yuan have the upper hand that she instinctively retorted everything he said, not realizing it was at the cost of her own sense of reasons. Fang Yuan was happy to see such retorts, for each time Bai Ning Bing failed, he grew closer to controlling her. This form of persuasion was very subtle, almost impossible to be aware of. Even Bai Ning Bing herself couldn't feel anything. The day she realized something was wrong and reacted against it, she would have already been doing his bidding unknowingly. In other words, to him, the demonic path goo master woman was the first target, and Bai Ning Bing was the second. Chen Chuihua was shell-shocked. She was only a farmer, one day fell into a cave while plowing a mud field. Inside, she found a dead body, and unexpectedly became a goo master after receiving the inheritance. Goo master. Chen Chuihua never thought that one day she would become one of the high and mighty goo masters herself. Unfortunately, her happiness was short-lived, as disaster quickly ensued. Her village was attacked by a mountain leopard the size of a plowing buffalo, with green winds encircling its body. Everyone in her village was killed. She only narrowly escaped thanks to her goo bugs. Since then she had been alone in the wild for over half a year. Her goo bugs kept dying off one by one, eventually leading up to when she encountered a green python. She killed it but was also poisoned. To make it worse, she even encountered 2 goo masters today. This was the 3rd time she ran into goo masters. Having studied from past painful experiences, she quickly learned how to protect herself. Even so, without proper training, she was still severely lacking in goo master foundation. Thinking back to the earlier fight, Chen Chuihua was terrified. She was no match to that young girl. Luckily she had buried a lot of thundering potatoes around the cave, and thanks heavens that the other weak one decided to leave. Chen Chuihua waited until their figures had completely disappeared into the forest before finally letting out a sigh of relief. Unfortunately, she could not be certain if they had left. Although her scouting goo bug allowed her to see everything within 350 steps as if they were right in front of her, it did not give her the ability to see through solid objects.
It's better to wait. 3 days later, I will come out.
Chen Chuihua thought to herself, having already learned how to be vigilant and patient.